What is going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. If I sound a little soft-spoken or weird, I have been under the weather all fucking week. But kind of want to talk about the DevStream, I think it was 176, that just hit. I've got notes here and shit, because like some of it makes sense and some of it's kind of, what the fuck? I'm just going to go down the list because I'm making an educated guess here, because they did talk about iOS and they've been working with beta for Android and things like that. So I'm assuming that with this next update, maybe the one after iOS is coming, the way they were talking, that's what it sounds like. But we'll see about that. I may have kind of mixed this up because I kept having to go back and watch it because my brain was a little scattered. So the Archon Shard Fusion is coming, and where that leaves us is Archon Shards, it's about to basically cost 4 regular Archon Shards to make 1 Tau. Personally, I think that is pretty fucking steep, given the mix of the Netracell bullshit on getting drops, the fact that you get 1 Archon Shard from the Archon and then 1 Archon Shard from Call if you're willing to gut that out every week. So best case scenario, you get 2. Worst case scenarios, you get 2. Best case, you could get up to fucking 7. But with the drop tables that we're going to discuss about the Netracells here shortly, the 7 is really loose. Okay, like since Whispers in the Wall dropped basically a month and a half ago, 5 weeks ago, I guess. I've gotten 5 Archon Shards total. So basically averaging out to 1 a week. I've gotten, I think, 1, maybe 2 Tau Forge, and the others were just regulars, and then I've gotten bullshit. Now, one of the bullshit things I'm okay with, like a lot of people would consider bullshit, personally I don't. But we'll get to that. So the next frame getting its rework is Inaros. Pablo specifically said it's not going to be near as much of a swathing rework like Hydroid. I'm glad to see Inaros is getting a rework, but the fact that he kind of downplayed that it was just going to be like minimalistic, and that's not his words, just me saying that. But because Inaros already works, but has a horrible fucking kit, I'm hoping that they can actually rework the stuff in his kit that is dumb. Because Inaros has so much potential to actually be really good, but he's just not quite there, Like he is, like I said, he's absolutely fucking playable, so I'm totally down with it. But hopefully they add just some more functional stuff to his kit and take him out of yesteryear. So it's good to hear that Inaros is getting something done to him at least. So, I mean, I guess anything is better than nothing. I'm not bitching. I'm really not. Mirage is getting a rework. I'll try to remember to leave a link down below where you can go comment on the workshop stuff for it. Basically, the rework for Mirage solely comes down to Eclipse. They keep trying to fix Eclipse, and every time they change something in the game, like they added the Zeraman, Mirage broke. They did the New War, Mirage kind of broke. They added the Zeraman, Mirage broke. They added this new tile set, Mirage broke again. And it all comes down to Eclipse and how funky it is. So they keep trying to rework Eclipse to where it works in light or dark. And for the longest time, a lot of people that want to play Mirage get so frustrated with the fact that basically if you stand in the light, you got a lot of power. If you stand in the dark, you have survivability. This last update was even more stupid because now it's a level of percentage. So basically, if you eke into the dark, you get a little damage reduction until you're fully in the dark. And then you get a little power as you eke into the light, so on and so forth. Personally, a lot of people have been saying, like me, I would love it if it was just a toggle or a tap hold ability. And it seems like that's what a lot of people are saying as well in the in the forum. But that's what they're wanting, is a community buff. And like Steve even said during the dev stream that, doing like a tap hold would be like the easiest fix possible to it, which if that's the easy way to go, why are we even talking about this? Let's just do this, right? So next thing, Fortuna. Fucking Fortuna. The slog of Fortuna. Like every other syndicate out there is so easy to grind stuff for. You know, I mean, the Zerman, you go find void plumes. There's 8 a mission. They're not that hard. You know, you do some bounties. That's pretty much it. You know, Cetus, you do some bounties. Honestly, doing, you know, the hunting critters and fishing and mining is very easy. And it all gets you standing, and you rank up in that way. And you rank up by getting crap that you find during doing these missions. Fortuna is the one goofy one, and like Quilonku is another one. You know, like Quilonku is you kill Volvulus, you get shards, right? You get shards, you rank up with Anku. I mean, not rocket science. Not fucking Fortuna. Fortuna, you have to do bonds, gyromags, repeller systems, shit like that. And that's for 2 syndicates. That's for Voxelaris and Solaris United. And those are horrible. I mean, it's why most people avoid grinding out Fortuna, because Fortuna is just such a fucking bullshit slog with all these stupid debt bonds. Like, you can get to rank 3 just, you know, well, at least rank 2 just fine. But to even start ranking with Little Duck, you have to be rank 5. Well, no, I think you can do it other. To get into the Profit Taker, you have to be rank 5. With Utico and those folks. So yeah, but no, I mean, just it's painful. Like, you have to be able to do Profit Taker and Profit Taker bounties in order to get some of the crap to rank up, you know, with Little Duck. So basically, you've got to be rank 5 Fortuna, and once you get past rank 2, it starts becoming far more problematic. Rank 2, even rank 3 is okay, but the 2 highest bonds just don't drop properly. They're absolutely fucking horrible. And they're the only way to rank up. So basically what they're doing is they are basically dropping the caps. Okay, they're going to be reworking the debt bonds and the gyromags and the repeller systems. I don't know if, as far as their drop tables being better or lowering the amount that you need. Either way is fine, as long as it makes it fucking easier to where Fortuna isn't an absolute slog for newer players. Because Fortuna makes motherfuckers want to quit this game. Another thing they're adding is a finisher update. Didn't really say much about it, just said it's getting an update. They mentioned it during the Inaros bit, saying that it would help with Inaros as 1. It's whatever. I'm not begging to finishers, so it's kind of whatever. Anybody who does finishers, man, you know, hey, cool, it's something for you. Apparently they're doing another stat update to the arsenal. Sounds like it's going to be mostly melee, but I think just taking away more garbage numbers that, like, really most of us don't give a shit about is what it sounds like, so I'm okay with that. Also sounds like they're doing Deviri quality of life, and what they mentioned doesn't necessarily fit one of the biggest fucking problems. First of all, Deviri is kind of one of those dead gameplay things, except for the circuit, right? You go and you do the Deviri thing. Like, the only thing that you do in Deviri, once you grind out enough resources in your beginning slog of Deviri, which don't get me wrong, the design of Deviri is awesome. The rogue playstyle seems really cool, but then it becomes really fucking boring really quickly. So it's like, basically you like hyper focus into finding as much resources as possible and then getting the fuck out of that place, because at that point the only thing you need to do is just go through, do your 6 missions, get your pathos clamps, get the fuck out of there. So the circuit becomes the one thing that you want to do, because you can, you know, once you get all the incarnate weapons that you want, then you can just do Rivens. You know, pretty easy way to just go and farm Rivens. To a point. The problem is if there's a host migration, half the time you lose your progress. Sometimes the Deviri circuit, you know, the steel path inside of the Deviri circuit just fucking crashes, and you lose all your fucking progress. Progression loss is a huge problem with Deviri in general. Like, you're supposed to be able to basically pick a decree, exit, and you keep whatever the fuck you've done. That happens 50% of the time, most of the time. The Steel Path circuit has been like, go until you don't think you can and then get the fuck out, because you don't want to lose all that fucking time. Like, I've seen people go for an hour and a half and they get to the defense and the pod gets wiped in the first fucking round, and then they lose an hour and a half of their fucking time. So it's just like, oh my fucking God. So it's really like, I don't know, what's the best way to, it's like incentivizing basically rage quitting. you know, like, fuck this, I'm not going to lose all this fucking time that I've invested, and I don't know if I can do this solo, because at this point everybody's done left my ass, and I just can't do this. Now it's like, the way they're talking is to basically do, how is it that they put it, preserving circuit progression. Okay, so basically every time you finish a mission, that's your save point. So no matter what the fuck happens in the next mission, everything you've done up to that point is going to be your save point. If that's how that pans out, that is going to make the circuit so much more fucking playable, because I will go ham into every fucking mission knowing that the last one's done. I don't give a shit. I will fucking press on until I fucking fail, giggle about it, and move the fuck on. Right now the circuit just pisses me off because of all of the fucking bugs and problems with it. So yeah, there was zero mention about the code fix between the glaive and alt fire issue going on in the game, so that's a massive disappointment to me and a few other players, to say the least, because it's a very potent combo with an incarnate weapon, because it's single pistol. It's like the only one that doesn't fit is the LADM, and this started with Whispers in the Wall, and I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the alt fire of the Grimoire that's causing single fire or single secondaries to not want to use their alt fire. Something about the code of the Grimoire is screwing with single weapon incarnate weapons, except for the LADM. The LADM is the only one that seems to work consistently. Occasionally you'll get the kunai to work, but the kunai is also two. You're holding two, but even then sometimes the kunai doesn't work. If it's two weapons like the dual toxis, totally fine. So if you're running a glaive and you want to run a pistol with an alt fire, God be with you, because it's probably not going to work. And considering like the Lex Prime is so fucking ungodly powerful, if you want to run a glaive, you better not run fucking Lex Prime. If you want to run the Lex Prime, you better not run the glaive. So it's a really stupid situation that I'm sure is way harder than what it sounds to fix. Because there's hot fixes and then code fixes. Hot fixes are basically just patch updates, to where code fixes are like there's a bugged out piece of code in the game that they have to rewrite. And something in the Whispers in the Wall update absolutely just bugged out the glaive and pistol alt fire situation. So, but there's been no mention of that whatsoever, other than they know it exists. Even in the forums, and they've even closed commenting to that particular part of the forums. We'll get to it. That's what we've been told. It's really annoying, because you've got basically a really powerful fucking weapon, but you can't use it with another powerful weapon that's been introduced into the game as of the last 12 months. So it's pretty dumb, but it's whatever. What else? Steel Path incursions are now going to, or will be, as far as coming in March, because that's when the whole next big update is going to be coming. Steel Path incursions and fissures are going to include the Zariman missions, which is, it's okay. I mean, like, the Zariman missions I'm alright with, but it's also going to include the Sanctum laboratories. Now that I'm fucking down with, because those fucking maps are fucking cool looking. So good with that. And they're also going to apparently be expanding the Axie missions, so that's also good, because Axie relics are such a pain in the fucking dick to not only farm, but just to crack. So it's like you do some of the harder crap to, you know, get the Axie mission, Axie relics, and then there's almost never fucking good Axie missions to run. So having more options, it's going to be a good thing. Oh God. For like Titania players and speedrunning parkour players, this is a nice thing. So the stuck environmental problems. So like, let's say running Titania, you run into a box, you're stuck to a box. You run into the top of the stairs, you're stuck to the top of the stairs. You're doing like crazy parkour shit with Nezher Varuna, and you just get stuck on weird shit. Apparently that's something they're finally gonna fucking fix, which, you know what, I'm fucking down with that. That is such an annoying gameplay slowing problem, and it's been that way ever since I've been playing. So it's nice to see that they're finally going to fix that problem. I'm fucking great with that. So the next update, like I said, coming in March, is going to be called Dante Unbound. Dante is apparently this geometrical fucking librarian that is, I'm assuming, a ghost by the movement mechanics they showed, because he basically moves like Wisp. He's a grimoire based librarian that looks like a geometric oddity. These are my notes, by the way. They didn't really give a whole lot of info. They gave like his 2-3 and his 4, which his 4 is a exalted tome, which, you know, I mean, I was kind of hoping that they were going to be introducing more grimoire or tome type weapons, so at least we'll have, you know, more to use the canonical and invocation mods for, and that's exactly what it seems like we're going to be able to do. So hopefully they release some more of those mods too, and not put them in bullshit drop tables. Just saying. Look, I'm sorry, okay, the drop tables with Whispers have been such a letdown. Okay, they really have. The drop table for the mirror defense is fucking god awful. The fact that all the invocation and canonical mods are all dropping from rotation C is fucking... it's terrible. Okay, absolutely fucking horrible. It's like trying to farm Citrine crap all over again. Except at least it's on a better tile this time, but it's still crap. So, I don't know. Drop table, it's like they're bringing out better and better frames and worse and worse drop tables. I don't know if there's a correlation with that or what, but I don't know. So they've been doing these dev shorts. So Steve and Rebecca have been doing these dev shorts for like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now. Basically since the beginning of the year. And they've been talking about reworking the Netra cells during these dev shorts. I've been seeing them pop up on YouTube. So I've been watching their little, you know, I mean, they're shorts. They're like, you know, little short, you know, 8 to 15 minute videos. It's a good time. And then they come into this dev stream because they're talking about, hey, we're going to talk about it in the next dev stream. They basically didn't fucking talk about it. And I'm just going to read the Netra cell drop table to you right now because this is fucking dumb. Now, there's been a massive complaint about, you know, people have been getting a lot of melee arcane adapters. Well, there's a lot of melee arcanes. I do understand the complaint though, because the melee arcane adapters cover up 20% of the overall drop percentages in the drop table. Crimson Archon Shard, Azure Archon Shard, and an Amber Archon Shard are all at 9.17. So that's the majority of your drop table right there, is the first 4 fucking items. Now, this is the complaint that I've had about the Netra cells. Melee fortification, melee exposure, melee animosity, melee retaliation, melee influence. All of those fucking melee arcanes should not be in this drop table. I've been saying that since fucking day one. And especially during farming Operation Gargoyle's Cry. And the reason being is this: you can literally go find a little pissed off grimoire in a mission, or you can go do the boss fight and you're guaranteed to get one of those arcanes every time. So if you do the boss fight, you find the book and fight the boss, you're going to get 2 of those arcanes every fucking time you run a mission. So if there's a mission that gives those arcanes, why in the fuck are they in a mission that is only available to run 5 times a week? Why are you clogging up 5.62% for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking arcanes? That is really dumb. But then melee crescendo, melee vortex, which is like, you know, the unicorn for most people. I've got a rank 1 crescendo and I have 2 oh, I'm sorry, vortex is in there and it's crap. Crescendo and duplicate are the 2 rare ones, so there's 7. So but I've got a rank 1 influence and I have 2 melee duplicates. That's it. And I got those during Gargoyle's Cry. There was like a bug in the fucking drop table because I was getting it out of the boss fight, not out of the Netra cells, oddly enough. But those are all 5.62%. So that's, again, a massive portion of the percentage of the drop table. And then even worse, the Tau Forge shards are 2.5% of each for each color. Now here's the thing. They were talking about how the Archon shards were supposed to be, this was supposed to be another great place to be able to farm Archon shards to help beef up our fucking loadouts, right? Well, if the fucking drop table is this fucked up, I have seen people posting on Reddit and Facebook alike saying they haven't even gotten an Archon shard, period, since Whispers released. I mean, can't we just remove fortification, exposure, animosity, retaliation, influence, and vortex? Right? So yeah, fortification, exposure, animosity, retaliation, influence, vortex. Yeah, okay, so it is 6. Why can't we take out those 6 fucking melees that you can get in other places easy and then rebalance the percentages to actually make it a bit more fucking fair, a bit more right, you know, because you don't need all that bullshit in one spot. Now, on that point, there is going to be another mission. We don't know what it is, but it's supposed to have a guaranteed legendary arcane drop. Cool. Until we know what the fuck it is, I can't be excited about this. So it is what it is. Like, I look forward to hearing it, but I don't know why they didn't talk about it more. They're also going to be adding a disruption mission to the laboratory, so that should be weird, especially like I don't like disruption missions. I really don't. But with the way the labs are set up, that could be really kind of wild. And depending on what they're going to use for the Demolist, like which enemy type they're going to use for the Demolist, that could be pretty fucking interesting. Honestly, that could be pretty goddamn interesting, because that could be either this is going to be a cakewalk or this is going to be a fucking nightmare. And either way, I'm down to figure it the fuck out. I'm okay with that. They're also going to be expanding the tile sets. I'm all right with that, because these fucking tile sets look awesome. Okay, they really do. And then they showed, see, every time they show a deluxe skin, like, I'm not a big, you know, fashion frame guy. I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, here, it's just look at the game, right? Like, fashion frame is applying stuff to a fucking frame and making it look all right for you, right? So it's like, you know, I got my Hydroid. He don't look too bad. You know, apparently major lag. You know, Calervo, he's looking okay. I mean, everything's kind of a domino scheme for me. You know, Gauss, got the old Gauss, you know, seeing Donna on there. You know, he's looking all right. You know, Lavos with his Kuvail skin. I mean, you know, we can make frames look how we want. So whenever deluxe skins come, like the deluxe for, where'd he go? Zaku. This was an amazing upgrade compared to this ugly ass bullshit that Zaku was for ages. Okay, this was Zaku. Zaku was fugly. Okay, absolutely fugly. So having this deluxe skin come in was like, honestly, for me, I'm not even a fashion framer. I was going, oh, thank fuck. Good God. Thank God. This thing looks better. Finally. It fucking looks better. So, Stynex. Stynex Deluxe is being released with this, and it's fugly. Okay? Stynex is supposed to be like this Spartan warrior, and all of a sudden it's like they're making him look like an Indian chief. Don't really understand that one, but okay. And it's fucking ugly. The headpiece is gaudy as hell. The body looks like some weird mosaic. His shield, although never seen unless you're doing Thero Strike, is just obtrusively fucking large and ridiculous compared to the size of the rest of the skin. And the staff, the javelin, is really stupid looking. So no knock to the artist, but good God, that deluxe skin's fucking ugly as shit. What else? 2 new weapon releases. We're almost done. 2 new weapon releases. Both are going to be incarnate, which has got me quite interested. One is going to be an arm cannon, and I'm basically describing it kind of like the Atomos, and then it turns into an actual, like, a cannon. That one, and that one really fucking looks cool, by the way. It just looks like this big, like, latch-on fucking thing that goes on the side of your arm, and then beam, and then boom. So I'm okay with that. The other one's a fucking melee, and it's a fist weapon that I'm assuming is going to be impact-based. It turns into an incarnate form. These are both incarnate form weapons, by the way. It's awesome. But it's going to turn into a spiked weapon. So unless it has, like, insanely high fucking slash to bleed procs, I'm like, that's going to be fodder for me. I don't know what to tell you. We'll see, though. They did say that they're going to be releasing new lab soma cords, so that's something to look out for when you're running around the labs looking for every fucking thing else. And then one that kind of actually surprised me is they were releasing 10 new augment mods. Like, that's a bunch. Usually you see like 2 to 6, you know? Like 10 is like 10 Ocon kind of numbers. So 10 new augments, and apparently I think one of them's a passive override. interesting. So I don't even know who that's for. I don't know anything about them. I haven't tried to look for any spoiler information or anything like that. So I mean, we'll see. But as of right now, that's where it is. And truthfully, I'm sitting here with, I'm questioning the Archon Shard fusion. I'm questioning how good is the Inaros rework going to be. I'm glad to see quite a few of these things happening that they're talking about. The Netracell thing is really the thing that's bugging the fuck out of me, because it's just like, I think all of us were looking forward to, let's get a few melee arcanes here and there so we can kind of test them out. Melee arcane adapters. And then let's get a ton of a ton of Archon shards, Tau Forged or not. Let's get a ton of Tau Forged shards so we can actually finish working on our loadouts, because even this far after Veilbreaker, there's still not enough Archon shards to fully max into all of our frames by far. Not even fucking close. So having another way to farm Archon shards was kind of this, hey man, this is great. And considering we can only run 5 of these missions a week, the fact that they're just leaving us hanging like this with really no realistic information about, what the update to the Netracells is going to be is kind of like yanking our chain and then telling us to go finish ourselves off without any kind of thing to imagine. So I don't know, it's kind of fucked up. So take it for what it is. It's the best I got for now. So thanks for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one. All right.